What is up? This is John here at metalaviation.com, and we're going to go over receivers. Hopefully you've all read through the receiver chapter in the book. If not, as usual, no big deal. This chapter can probably be skipped in the book and you can watch this video because I'm definitely going to go over more in the video than the book. The book is basically a quick overview of what I use, why I use it, and that's it. Since we have the video here, I can go into a little more detail because you can see what we have going on here with the receiver. What I have here is an AR6200. This is a dual antenna full range receiver. Not really meant for park flyers, but I use it in park flyers because it's a full range receiver and I have it left over from when I switched from nitro to electric. It works fine. It's a little heavier, but big deal. It's not much heavier. It's a few grams heavier, and again, weight I don't care about. I want to get these my park jets. I want to get some weight on them, have them fly realistic. Not into flying kites. I like flying airplanes. So we don't really care about weight. Don't worry about weight. Weight. Who cares? If this is if the weight of this, as opposed to a 6000, which is a park flyer receiver, is gonna make or break the way your plane flies, your plane's a piece of junk. So let's just we'll get off the weight subject right now because I'll start to get all mad. So it is a little heavier, but big deal. My receiver of choice these days is an AR500 or AR600. Either or, they're both the exact same price. 600 being a 6-channel, the 500 being a 5-channel. But the 500 still has it still has an extra channel on it. So I don't it's I don't know why they might actually be the same receiver. I never even looked that closely at them. But AR500, AR600, that's what I roll with. $49.99 spread spectrum, and that's the Spectrum brand receivers because I use the Spectrum brand transmitters as well. The AR500, AR600, as I said, $49.99. This bad boy is $79.99. No sense in buying this because you're not going to get any benefit out of this over those other two receivers, and you're going to spend almost twice as much. If you happen to have one of these like I do laying around, or you get a good deal on one, sure, buy it and throw it in your plane and use it. But if not, if you're buying new, get yourself an AR500 or AR600. It's not going to matter, and that's your best way to go. Now, powering your receiver, how do you make this bad boy work? Well, if you watch the ESC video, and even if you haven't, you'll know that your electronic speed control, which should have a built-in BEC in the throttle line, will plug right into the throttle. Once again, the throttle plug on your receiver. I've seen guys plug this into the power. And I can see why you do that because, you'd think if you don't know anything about this, you'd plug it in and go, well, it has the power. How are you going to power it? The one thing to remember is any one of these lines, your positive line on your receiver, will power the whole receiver. I could plug a battery into the aileron port and it would power the receiver and run just fine. But for electronics with your ESC, with a BEC built into the throttle line, it goes into the throttle port and makes sure your positive and negative are correct. So that powers it, and your ESC also controls the throttle all at that same port. And then you plug your servos in accordingly. Now, as far as setting up servos and running your receiver and all that good stuff, you're going to learn that pretty much on your own once you hook this up and start setting up your control surfaces. That's where you're going to learn. There's nothing here I'm going to teach you that you're going to retain that's going to help you out, other than what I just showed you. Why do I use those receivers? I use the Spectrum brand because I think Spectrum makes an excellent product for the price. I'm very happy with the quality of it, and I think they have a fair price. I use the spread spectrum technology on the receivers because back in the days of nitro, we were flying with FM technology. And how that worked is you'd buy a paired transmitter and receiver on a certain channel, so say channel 48. Set everything up in your plane, go out to the field, then you show up and there's 20 guys there flying on channel 48. Well, now you have to fly in between everybody and take turns. And you have to make sure that you're not trying to set your plane up and tune it in while someone else is flying, because you turn that transmitter on and someone's flying on that channel, it's going to conflict. He's not going to be able to control the plane. He's going to crash. As soon as I heard spread spectrum was available for planes, I jumped on it right away because I want to be able to go to the field and fire my plane up and fly. I don't want to have to wait, and then I don't really want to have to worry about making somebody else crash because I forgot that someone else had my channel or I didn't check. So that's really the main reason I switched, is because of the zero chance of conflict with a signal with another flyer. One other thing I'll go over before we end this video is receiver placement. I try to keep the receiver away from the battery and wires and speed control just because there might get some kind of interference. I have seen guys have everything in it, like just in a pile like this, stuffed in the plane, and the receiver not even held down. I mean, it's like a big blob, and then this plugged in over here. So and no crashes. It worked fine. I'm a little more organized with my stuff. I try to keep my receiver away from the speed control just in case, just paranoia thing, electronics thing, But you're dealing with park flyers here. These planes are small, so you don't have a ton of room to play around with anyway. I Velcro everything down. I put a square of Velcro down. All of my receivers, they all have a square of Velcro on them as well, and that's how I hold the receiver in place on the plane. That way I can pull it in and out and move it from plane to plane really easy. All my park flyers are set up like that, so it's just like boom, 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 move it to whatever plane you want to move it to. And it makes it a lot easier. You can have 3 or 4 receivers and 20 planes. You can only fly one at a time, and with that particular rig with the Velcro, you can switch one from one plane to another in a couple minutes. And if you have them set up in model memory, then it's just the fact of turning that model memory section on and your transmitter for that plane. And that's pretty much it for receivers that I can think of. Any questions you have, anything I missed, shoot me an email. I'll go ahead and answer as quickly as possible. If you have some kind of crazy receiver you never saw before, you bought it off some guy cheap and you can't figure out how to get it to work, shoot me an email with a picture of it or the model number, and I'll do a little research and help you out. But either way, any questions you have, let me know. Anything I missed, I will update the video. I'll update the book. Keep the questions coming in, because that's really going to make the videos and book a lot better for future members who are beginning as well. That's pretty much going to do it here for the receiver tutorial here at metalaviation.com for the media guide. Any questions, let me know, and I'm out of here. Peace!